Hey, 8th graders, welcome to another edition of The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. Get ready, because we're going to unlock some of the most powerful skills you can possibly develop. And honestly, this isn't just for your classes right now, but for high school, college, and literally your entire life. Today, we're tackling a topic that completely transforms the way we work, the way we speak, and the way we interact with each other. Let's be real for a second. Have you ever felt that absolute wave of panic right before you have to give a presentation? You know the feeling. Your palms get super sweaty, your heart's beating a million miles a minute, and you feel like everyone in the room is just staring right through you. Trust me, standing up in front of the class all by yourself is nerve-wracking. It's a completely normal feeling. But what if I told you there's a secret weapon to completely conquer those nerves and make your work incredibly strong before you even step foot at the front of the room? Okay, let's look at our roadmap for today. We've got 6 key areas: the power of peer review, why we actually need feedback, giving and using it effectively, how practice builds your confidence, the morality of feedback, and finally, why education absolutely needs morality. All right, let's jump right into section 1, the power of peer review. So, what exactly is peer review? Well, basically, it's the process of giving and receiving constructive feedback to improve a project, like an essay or a presentation, way before it's actually finalized. Think of it kind of like a safety net. You don't have to be totally perfect on the first try, because your peers, your classmates, are right there to help you spot the rough edges and polish them up until they shine. And, this isn't just some trendy new academic trick. It's actually a super ancient, timeless principle. Proverbs 27:17 says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." This is literally the foundational blueprint for modern peer review. We're essentially just like a dull blade and a hammer. Our minds and our ideas absolutely need other people to become sharp. We were just never meant to learn in total isolation. Moving on to section 2, why we need feedback. Why exactly can't we just do it all ourselves? Honestly, working totally alone is rarely the smartest move. I mean, even the greatest writers, scientists, and speakers in the world have editors and coaches, right? Why? Because when you stare at your own work for way too long, you just kind of become blind to your own mistakes. A fresh pair of eyes will catch those errors you completely glossed over. Plus, it lets you learn from your classmates' unique strengths, builds up your presentation confidence, absolutely crushes those nerves we talked about earlier, and ultimately, it just trains you to be a much better team member and leader. All right, section 3, giving and using feedback. Now that we know why it's so important, how do we actually deliver feedback that helps instead of hurts? Now, check this out. It perfectly illustrates the stark difference between tearing someone down and offering real help. Just telling someone, this is bad, well, it's destructive. It offers zero direction, and it just totally discourages your classmate. But look at the other approach. Your main point is strong, but the conclusion could be clearer. Do you see the difference there? That is constructive feedback. It highlights a win, but then gives them a specific, actionable way to level up their work. But remember, peer review is a two-way street. You've got to know how to actually use the feedback you get, too. Like, let's say a classmate points out your history timeline is missing a really crucial date. You could get totally defensive, or you could just add the date. Actually taking their advice makes your whole project more accurate, which directly translates to a way better grade and a much deeper understanding of the material. So yeah, definitely don't let your ego get in the way of an awesome project. Which brings us to section 4, practice builds your confidence. Once your content is sharp, it's time to prepare for the spotlight. Okay, notice the clear path we've got laid out here for success. First, you start with your draft. Then you grab that vital feedback we just talked about, and then you dive right into practice rounds. Rehearsing your speech out loud in front of a friend helps you fix your pacing. Maybe you're talking way too fast because you're nervous. It also makes sure your visuals are working right. By the time you hit step 4, the final product, you've pretty much killed those nerves. You've already done it, so standing in front of the teacher is gonna be an absolute breeze. All right, time for a really quick homework check. Ask yourself right now, what is peer review? Could you give me an example of constructive feedback? Why is practicing so crucial? How should you deliver feedback? And what's a major benefit of actually receiving it? If you've been following along with this explainer, you should be able to rattle off these answers with absolute ease. Keep these locked in your brain, because this is exactly what you need to take away from the academic side of our lesson today. Now let's shift gears a bit. Section 5, the morality of feedback. We're diving into the deeper, emotional core of how we treat one another. You see, the way we speak to our peers isn't just about getting good grades, it's honestly a reflection of our character. 1 Thessalonians 5:11 tells us to encourage one another and build each other up. This right here is your biblical morality tip for the day. Giving feedback absolutely must be rooted in kindness, in honesty, and in a real, genuine desire to help your friends grow. It should never, ever be a tool to embarrass someone or show off how smart you are or tear someone down. True intelligence is using your brain power to lift other people up. And that perfectly leads us into Section 6, Why Education Needs Morality. This is the ultimate foundation of everything we're learning. So the crucial point here is this: education without morality will hurt. Seriously, think about it. Academic intelligence is incredibly powerful, but power without a moral compass, that is just dangerous. If you learn how to argue brilliantly, but you use that skill to manipulate people, your education is literally causing harm. If you learn how to give feedback, but you use it to mock someone, you are entirely missing the point of learning. Your knowledge has to be guided by a strong, godly morality. And when you align your learning with a supportive, spiritual mindset, man, something amazing happens. Romans 8:6-7 promises peace of mind to everyone who keeps their minds spiritual. When you look at school not as this cutthroat, selfish competition, but as a chance to grow alongside your classmates, you actually find profound peace. You're not stressing over beating everybody else. You're just joyful about sharpening one another, just like that iron sharpening iron. I want to leave you with this final, really powerful question to chew on today. What is the point of being smart, of being highly educated, if you just continue to make choices that hurt yourself and the people around you? True success in 8th grade, and honestly in your whole life, isn't just about the facts crammed in your head, it's about the character in your heart. So step into your classroom, welcome that feedback, practice hard, and above all else, use your words to build each other up. Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer, and I seriously can't wait to see the incredible leaders you're all going to become.